I don't even know how they're like gonna do it. That's what I'm just confused about.
Can they even legally do it?
Because I heard that they were being forced to shut this stuff down, but I did hear apparently that they I guess they have the next night on Raw, which would be, I guess, a Tonight Show. I guess they would have they have that done, but I don't know what else they did.
Do they have the SmackDown done?
I didn't quite catch that, but I know they're supposed to have those NXT matches, from TakeOver. Those are supposed to air coming up in the coming weeks.
Are those Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch that over AEW.
And I guess AEW, I heard that they're suspending operations now too, so.
Yeah. So we'll
So I just don't know what they're gonna do, although it makes me wonder, when they were in there for those 2 days, like were they recording stuff like day and night? Like were they just like running like the whole entire time?
Maybe. That would suck. Can you imagine having to work if you're like Charlotte 30 minutes or like Rhea worked 30 minutes, then hey, you have a segment in like an hour to do Raw?
Yeah, I'd like to get more details about how they filmed this thing too. About like how they did everything. Like I got some stuff about like the Boneyard match and whatnot. We'll get into the other match. I'd love to know how the heck they filmed that later too. But
well, my guess that was in Stamford. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I would think. But next we'd have a singles match between Dolph Ziggler and Otis. But Sonya Deville would be in Dolph Ziggler's corner, I guess.
And then obviously we had the moment after the reveal last week. We don't know yet who the hacker is. Mm-hmm. But so we don't want to really talk about that until it happens. But
yeah, so this thing's not over.
We had the big moment where Mandy came out, slapped Sonya, and low blow Dolph. Otis gets the win. This was cool because, honestly, this would have been great with the Mania crowd.
This needed a crowd.
Because it wasn't a great match, but it didn't need to be, because this is SmackDown's best booked feud.
Yeah, it is SmackDown's best feud of, like, the year so far.
And it's been great, and now I think because of, Sony tweeted a picture of her and Dolph with the fire emoji and all that, my guess would be we're going to go into Mandy and Otis versus Sony and Dolph.
Yeah, so, and I'm not against that match in particular.
Mandy and Otis kissed at the end.
Yeah, so that was the moment they needed, like, the pop from the crowd, so they were missing that. But I figured that, like, with how everything transpired, she had to come out there and help Otis in the end, especially when things started getting out of control and like Sony would like try to help Dolph win and cheat and that whole deal. So I was thinking that would have to play out. But fun fact also, this was Dolph Ziggler's first ever WrestleMania singles match, if you could believe that.
And he lost.
Yeah. I'm surprised that with all the years he's been in the company, it took him that long to get one. Because there were some
like 12 years.
There were some points though. Where he actually probably could have had a shot at getting one, I guess.
Yeah.
But Otis would win. Didn't get a time for that though. It wasn't real long. It was probably like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. 2 3/4 from you, 2 1/4 from me. As I said, not the best match, but didn't need to be. Did what I had to do, and I'm fine with it. I'll live with it. The next, we'd have the last man standing match between Edge and Randy Orton. When you're talking about
nice short one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But when you're talking about top feuds of 2020, this has got to be like the pinnacle of that.
The only thing that I'll say, like we talked about this, it was a good match. It should have been 25 minutes.
Maybe not even that. I thought
probably like 15.
I was thinking 15, honestly, but
because it got to a point where they beat the crap out of each other so much. I'm like, oh my god! And of course, we watched the WWE 24 where Edge is like, I can't work like I used to. What does this crazy bastard do? He climbs a ladder to like a roof thing and jumps off and breaks a table.
Yeah, I know. Beth had been watching that and like just being like, oh my god.
And I was watching it with him because it's recorded. She probably looked at him and went, "Really?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. But This was obviously
okay.
Oh, sorry.
I thought it was okay, really good. Could have been shorter, should have been. But once again, it was just nice to see Edge out there. That's what it was. But I do think with the shape Edge is in, I just want to see Edge wrestle.
I know. I thought they could have done like a way more in the ring.
But I guess
always do something in the ring.
Yeah, and then it ended with the concerto, a lot of good big spots in the match. Although you had the moment where Randy tried to kill Edge by choking him out in the gym. That was...
Now, I got to point something out there. There was a bit of an outrage on Twitter about that one because, of course, if you had recently, I mean, everyone knows about this event, but of course, if you have been able to recently catch the Part 1 and Part 2 episodes 1 and 2 of the Dark Side of the Ring documentary they did on Chris Benoit, the idea of having a guy choke a guy with a weight machine and whatnot, or like a weight equipment, that probably wasn't the greatest idea ever. Granted, that's not what they were going for. I mean, everyone should know that, but still, now that I think about it and put it more like in depth, I'm like, yeah, they probably could have gone without doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they fight around the whole entire performance center, which I thought that was a good idea, like to just battle around there and whatnot, because I'm like, well, use your surroundings to your advantage, and I'm thinking this is obviously going to be way different than if it was done in a stadium. If it was done in a stadium, I don't even think they would have done the last man standing. I think they just would have gone like straight, like no holds barred, something like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that changed the format of the match and whatnot. So I think they thought, they're in the building, they can go wherever they want, and the match could end whenever. It's just got to be a 10 count that they have to get up by. So I thought that decision was fine. Although, I wish they would have done a little bit more in the ring. They gave us a free tour of the Performance Center, though. So if anyone ever wanted to take a tour of it, I guess if you watch this match, you get a free tour. You don't have to ever go, so... But yeah, I still thought it was good. I mean, some people thought it was like great. I mean, I thought the storytelling was there, so that's what helped for me. I just thought it was just way too lengthy. I mean, as I said, 15 minutes. I thought they could have accomplished the same thing. So I just felt that was there. I mean, people were turning on this. Not like everyone, because there's still a lot of people who liked it, but there were some people who were just turning on it like real early and whatnot. I wasn't really doing that as much. Like, I was enjoying it. It's just when it got to like the 20-minute mark, I was starting to think to myself, okay, let's try to just wrap this up in the next few minutes. That's where I was at. I was just gonna like let it go, just be like, can we just wrap this up in the next few minutes? Then we got to like 25 minutes, and then we started approaching 30, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, because like they literally went like everywhere. I thought the finish was fine, where he was like crying before, like because he was crying before he could do like the concerto to Orton. So I thought that, it's like, and not for nothing, that was like his brother or whatnot, and that was someone he like truly cared about. So he had to pull himself, and you'd have to like have that grit, like to be able to do so. But then he hit him with the concerto, which was symbolic of the whole entire feud and whatnot. But I am glad they ended off that and not that like submission, that submission hold thing he was doing, like he did on MVP and whatnot to put him out. So like if that's how they ended, that's kind of like I wouldn't have liked that, but they ended it the right way with the concerto, symbolism, and yeah. So I still thought it was good. It was just far too long. Could have been great had it been like like half its length.
Yeah, it was okay. So again, that was, like I said, I think we pretty much said all we can about this. It was good. Could have gone on shorter. Happy to see Edge back. Can't wait to see what he does next.
Without a doubt, Edge, as I've noted on this program before, favorite wrestler of all time. Love that guy. He's like a childhood hero of mine, which I still think it's funny to say that because I was probably like the only like 8-9-year-old on earth that liked Edge.
Childhood hero, watching his childhood hero have live sex celebrations. That really.
And then like he just cheated every opportunity. He never I don't know. He was great at what he did, and it's great to see him back. And I didn't let the no fan thing ruin the moment of like him having this like first one-on-one match back. Maybe that's the other thing. Maybe they figured that they didn't have to be in the ring because since no one's gonna see it, they'll just fight around the whole building. Maybe they're just saving his first like in-ring match like for like like a big deal like a SummerSlam or. Yeah. I'm assuming that's probably when they do his next match.
Yeah.
Assuming there's no Saudi shows or whatever, I don't know. Assuming he does. Well, that's only saying if he does that too. So.
Yeah.
Then after, so 3 stars from both of us, but I would have this recorded as like over 37 minutes long.
That's crazy.
That's got to be one of the longest Mania matches I've ever seen. The next we'd have the 24/7 title shenanigans. Everyone would chase after Mojo. Gronk would appear at the top of the podium, do a
jump off. just leap on everyone.
Basically, like a really bad version of a coffin drop.
But my whole thing with this was they did this to have Gronk win just so it'll be all over social media.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Which is fine, because I guess that's okay. Truth will probably win the belt tomorrow.
Yeah, I get you got this big name, celebrity star or whatever, so like you try to take advantage of that. I mean, they've had celebrities win it in the past and whatnot, so it's like I'm not surprised, if they did that, but it's like I don't know how this thing's gonna work with him as a wrestler. I think he's definitely got some improvements to do from like what we've seen so far, but we'll see. I guess that's probably like the best way I could put it. Then next we'd have the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. We see the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory with Selena Vega. Originally, it was supposed to be the Street Profits and Angel Garza with Andrade, but then he got pulled from there and they throw in Austin Theory from NXT.
Why did he get pulled?
Well, Zelina Vega would describe it in a promo by saying it was like an injury, but I don't know if that was the legitimate reasoning or not.
Okay, so this match was kind of blah. It was just a regular tag team match. The Street Profits won until the ending when they got attacked after the match by Vega and Garza and Theory, and then Bianca Belair came out. Yeah,
out of nowhere.
Now here's my question: what does this mean?
Well, we'll probably have a 6-person tag team match coming up.
There is, but does that mean that Bianca's moving up to Raw?
I would get that impression, yeah.
But it's not that she's not ready. It's just like she hasn't done a lot.
Like she hasn't won the NXT title or anything. But I guess you don't have to do that to move up. But no, she definitely has the talent to do it.
I don't remember. But
she definitely has the talent to do it.
Yeah.
But pretty whatever. Like it wasn't terrible, but once again it was like 6 minutes 23 seconds. That's what I had. This wasn't lengthy. Street Profits retained as they should because you don't want to lose to like a not like actual like tag team.
Tag team,
yeah. 6 minutes 23 seconds. 2.25 from me, 2.5 from you. Basically all we could say about it. But I get the impression though that I don't know what the Street Profits would have done had this been like under the normal circumstances. But I think what they would have done, at least with Garza, is I was thinking what a good idea would be like do a 4-way, like with like Garza, Andrade, and like Rey Mysterio and Carrillo, Humberto Carrillo. I thought that would have been pretty good, like a 4-way for the U.S. title. Since they've all been like tagging, they've all been like involved for like, like weeks and whatnot, like in like basically months. So I actually thought that would have been pretty dope.
Yep.
So next we'd have the SmackDown Women's Championship Fatal 5-Way Elimination Match. It would be Bayley defending against Naomi, Tamina, Lacey Evans, and Sasha Banks.
Now, going into this, I said I needed Sasha to win. I'm okay with the way they did it. My only thing was, one, we got Tamina out early, which was good. My problem is I wanted Sasha versus Bayley, but I understand, and with the end of the match, the way it was when Sasha had the belt, they're having a slow build to like a SummerSlam.
Uh-huh. And I get it, and this deserves that, but I'm just glad at least Sasha was in the match, I guess, because...
Same with me, but this is all about the slow build. Like, that's what it is. And you saw that...
Hopefully it has its payoff.
I like what they did where Bayley was like, are you really my friend? Are you really my friend?
Mm-hmm.
And Bayley actually screwed Sasha out of the match on accident, and Sasha still came in and helped Bayley win.
Yeah, so she's still showing her loyalty and friendship to her. No, so I like that too. Because they'd eliminate Tamina first, which I thought I didn't like the way they did it because they had like all like 4 of them like get on top and like for the pin, and I'm like, I don't know if it's really that serious. To me, that would have. But to me, that would have been more suited for like like a Nia Jax kind of like character where she's like she's like that dominant force in like in the women's division. So I thought that would have been a lot more believable. So that there was that, but and then Naomi would be out next, and then there'd be the thing with Bayley and Sasha. Then Lacey would come in with the women's right, take her out. Then Bayley would then get the win off the the assist from Sasha, And yeah, so that would be that. They gave that a ton of time too, which I guess it's a 5-way elimination match. You kind of got to give that some length, but it is surprising how much length they gave that compared to other things on the show.